What's up, guys? Morning, Balas, Zypher, Nick, my boy. How you doing? Welcome, everyone. Sorry, was a little bit late, bit of a rush, but we're here now. We all sorted. Look, what's up, Luke? How you doing? Nice to see you in the morning stream. I'm assuming there's no school today, or you are in class. Let's just see what we're looking at here. GJ is a mess, guys, by the way. We had some medium impact news come in this morning, those retail sales, and it was just absolutely shocking. You can see this is one of those, I've seen GJ do this for 6 days in a row before. So if I'm looking at trading GJ today, probably definitely going to have to be above 157.118 or below 155.971. Probably something very risky currently below this sort of 673 level, but I think that, you know, we're still trapped in this range all in all, so it's just going to be highly risky. I'm sick, so I'm at home. Sorry to hear you sick. Hope it's not the dreaded C. Let's see what our range is here. 10 pips above this current resistance. So, what's up, Sharif? How are you doing? Nick, if you are in the stream, go look at what Rourke just posted on that WhatsApp group. I think he... Oh, days. What's up, Alessandra? How are you doing? Let's do a... We got 10 minutes. Let's just do a full GJ breakdown. Why not? Got the time. Got the open coming up just now. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Haven't actually looked at the monthly in a while. Earlier on in the month, we did actually pop up above the previous level of monthly resistance. You can see we broke up, and now then we retraced ourselves at strong push last Friday, and now we are obviously working our way back up. Hopefully we can eventually break out of this range. The month next week is our last week of the month, actually that following Monday, so a week and a bit we have left. If we're going to be looking at the the weekly time frame, you can see our market structure is bullish at the moment. We are currently in the process of filling this weekly wick, but whether we're going to carry on pushing bullish or not, we're just going to have to wait and see. If we go to the daily time frame, so remember, guys, market structure is bullish. If we go to the daily time frame, our market structure, we know on the daily is currently still bullish. High created by this point down here have not exceeded it, so don't need to go over that again. You can see on the daily yesterday we did form some daily resistance, and we also have a daily support level today, which is currently forming, which obviously on the lower time frames we will find that support. If we break above this daily resistance, which I'm assuming is also above that range which we're trapped in, we have some clean daily candles to the left possibly trade into, so that's going to be quite interesting to see what happens. If we drop down to a 4 hour, this is where we have our 4 hour consolidation, which we can see has been happening over the last couple of days. Shocking price action. So what I would be looking for at this point is, obviously we're going to have to adjust this resistance level based on the lower time frames, but for now you can see that this is our 4 hour resistance, or somewhat could be classified as our 4 hour resistance, and this would be our relevant 4 hour support. Within here, obviously you saw just now we are going to have some clean candles, but again, you are trading a range, so just be aware of that. Market structure is currently still, we maintain that bullish market structure even throughout the last week, so this was our high. We look for the 2 or more candle pullbacks, so we find that over here we will only be bearish below this point, and then we will only create a new high above this point over here. So at the moment that market structure is bullish, so we have 3v0, and then obviously now we need to check out our 30 minutes. This is where we're going to finally tweak our zones to the finest points. You can see below here, so this was our 4 hour support. You could see we had all those rejection wicks at the bottom, and those are bodies on the lower time frames. So what we're going to have to do is, if we really want to find a nice clean entry, what I would say is mark all the way down here. You can see if we break below this support level, we got clean candles to the left, so it's going to be, you know, a lot easier to possibly work our way from 155.982 down to 155, you know, 570, as opposed to trying to take a trade within this consolidation. You saw what I marked out just now, though, was obviously the most recent sort of support or relevant support and resistances. We do have resistance at this level forming, and we have somewhat clean candles to the left. It is in a range, so I'm going to be very skeptical about that. And if we break below the support, you can see we have clean candles as well, down to about 156.288. Our market structure, let me just see what our current market structure is. So our current market structure is bearish on the 30 minutes. This was our low created by this point over here, and then we did not exceed that, and we have now created a new low. So our market structure based on the 30-minute time frame is bearish. See guys, once you do get used to market structure, market structure, and literally do it for, you know, months and years, it just becomes extremely easy to identify, even in choppy price action like this. So you just got to know exactly what you're looking for. So yeah, we do have that 3v1. That's what we are right now, 3v1 bullish, making my bias at the moment buys. We also had good numbers coming in for the retail sales. Of course, it didn't really move the market very much. That was this candle over here. We came down a little bit, but what could be happening is later on we could be getting that news priced in, and then we could start moving up. We obviously do have the whole issue of this possible war happening, which is not helping anything at all in terms of the pound or the dollar in any way whatsoever, because obviously one moment it's going to be strong because that's when the troops come back home for their lunchtime, and then one moment it's going to be weak, and that's when the troops head back in there to Ukraine and start surrounding the borders. Olivia, welcome. How are you doing? Good morning. Yeah, so what I would say, guys, if you are looking at GJ, obviously we do have our buyers, but well, sorry, I have my buyers. What I would be saying is we're going to be looking for some potential buys above 157.064. Oh, sorry, Matrix, I missed your message. Morning. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I'm saying potential buys above 157.064. Obviously, that's going to be with our current trend, or what I think is the current trend, and then, current market structure. And then if we're going to be looking for some riskier entries, obviously you're going to see we are going to have potential risky sells. Below 156.708. Again, guys, you are trading a range at that point, and it is going to be counter trend. So trade at your own risk when it comes to that sort of stuff. Not the easiest range to trade in at all, but you can see what it's based on. Obviously, we have the clean candles to the left, and if we're looking for these buy levels, we also have clean candles to the left. I'm very interested in correcting this whole move, especially, remember what I said about consolidation? If the more we consolidate, the bigger the push out of the consolidation is going to be. So think of it as like a spring. The more you twist the spring, the bigger the sort of recoil is going to be once you let go of that spring, and that's exactly what consolidation does. So when price consolidates, you'll see it the most on gold. I always have seen that with gold, is that when we get a large period of consolidation, so let's say it's a day, 2 days, maybe even longer, the push out of that consolidation is going to be, you know, incredible. So yeah, we have Luke saying buys on gold looks nice. Yeah, buys above 1893 look very nice, to be honest with you. If we go look on the 4-hour time frame, you can also see we formed some 4-hour support. I wouldn't say it's exactly strong 4-hour support, but it's 4-hour support nevertheless. We also can then come up to possibly retest this high if we break the high of the previous 4-hour candle. Definitely going to be something that I'm going to be looking at. Got some really nice buys on gold yesterday, just before that news came in. So was that about, what time was it actually? This is a 1-hour time frame. It was yesterday. think it was at this level over here. This exact candle yesterday at 3 o'clock. Got some really nice buys. That is on Instagram if everyone wants to check that out. And obviously again, that was just based on the clean candles, respecting candle lows, not respecting candle highs, time of high volume, and yeah, bullish market structure. And also gold has just been pumping into the moon recently, so yeah. Got about 2 minutes till London open. I would say that at the moment, obviously the way that GJ is setting out to be, it's not looking great. So maybe gold might be the better option. Gold buys above 1893.47. Whether I'm going to set a buy stop or not though, is what I'm currently contemplating. You know, we do have to have some exhaustion at some point. So let's wait and see. So do you mean 2 days worth of consolidation ranging on the 4-hour time frame? Yeah, so just 2 days worth of consolidation. If it consolidates for 2 days on the 4-hour, it's definitely going to be consolidation more or less on the 30-minute or the lower time frames. So, and also it doesn't have to be 2 days. What I mean by a long period of time is just an extended period of time, longer than usual. So what we're seeing on GJ at the moment, this is not normal price action. This is like a consolidation and we're trapped in it. We are trapped in between these sort of two price points, this 155.982 and I would say this 157.064. You can see price hasn't quite decided, okay, are we going to continue bullish or bearish? And then when we do eventually get a break out of this range, it's going to be, or historically from what I've seen when it comes to this, is it is going to be a strong push. We're also forming a nice strong bullish pre-London candle. Let's see if we can break above this resistance. It's a very tight range though. It's been a good month, so possibly considering some risky entries. This is also something you have to be very aware of on gold and any pair in particular, guys, because when you start seeing candles forming like this, there's just no volume. That's exactly what this is telling us, lack of volume. So just stay away from it for now. Okay, let's see what happens on GJ. I don't know. Am I tempted to take a risky buy above this level? Hopefully that we... Stop loss is going to be... I don't know, these rejection wicks are annoying me. 8.8 pip stop loss. I'm in two minds at the moment. It's not a very high confirmation trade at all. But do we say volume is going to push us through? I think that, I don't know, we could. Okay. Risky entries. If this is your first time on the stream, don't base it on this trade, please. If this flips bearish again, I may as well just... close half of the position. This was a pretty stupid entry, but yeah. Okay, well, there's first half gone. What's making you second guess? The fact that we are in a very sticky range at the moment. There's no confirmations, well, not a huge amount of confirmations for this trade. It's literally, I'm basing it off of London Open. I was hoping that we're going to get just a nice strong push. We already have a rejection wick here, a rejection wick here. We didn't even get a candle close above resistance, but was just based on the fact that it's been an extremely good month so far. Can afford to, you know, take a loss. It's also one thing you got to do is even if you are having a good month and you do take a loss, you can't then say, okay, I'm not going to risk manage it, because one unmanaged trade can take away 4 good trades. So no matter how good your month has been, or no matter how confident you're feeling, always make sure you are managing risk. I've already closed this trade, closed half of this trade. So if we do start coming back up, definitely not going to add another half in. It's definitely not that type of a situation. But yeah, it's only an 8 pip stop loss, nothing too serious. Looking to get up to at least 156.974. Would be better to get even higher. So at this stage, all I'm looking to do is make back that original half which I closed, and then anything on top of that, it's just a little bit extra. So yeah, we'll wait and see. It gave us a stop loss level. I also want to see how this 5-minute candle closes. Sammy, not too sure what that is. If it is a chart link, I don't know if those chart links are currently working. I've tried to use them a few times. See if we can get up to this level maybe. Come on, GJ. Push. See how gold reacted. No bottom wick on that candle. Gold's looking really good on the 4 hour, to be honest with you, to retest this high. Just gonna have to wait and see. Won't be opening a gold position if I'm still in this GJ trade. No point in trying to balance 2 trades at once. Let's hope for the best. Hope for the best. I think at this point, if we come back down to 156.838, I will just close the full position. Because then we've come all the way up here, rejected, and then we're going to be coming back down to the point which I had originally closed half. So that'll be me out of the trade. I'm just going to close here. Yeah. Okay, so let's just go over that. We were risking about 8 pips worth, so I would say I opened a 20 lot. I'll post it on Instagram as well. Opened a 20 lot in the anticipation that price was going to continue bullish due to volume in London Open, overall market structure, and just a bit of a risky trade all in all, to be honest with you. Like I said before I took the trade, it was not, there was probably no confirmations as to it working out except for trading with the structure. What I did was had an 8 pip stop loss. Roughly my stop loss was placed just below the low of this candle. what ended up happening was we came back down and broke the low. Flipped the candle bearish after it had already been quite strong bullish. Closed half there, so closed 10 lots at that point. What that was about a 200 pound loss or so, and then, or I would actually say 230. Then we started moving up again, which was fine. Went up about 7 pips or so. Let's just see how much this was. Yeah, almost 7 pips or so, which was great. But then once we were up that far and then came back to my entry, I didn't close half, but instead what I did was I moved my stop loss to this point over here. So ended up losing about another 230 pounds, roughly around there. So my total loss for that trade was 478 pounds. Originally was risking, I would say, about 1,200. So lost more or less a third, just over a third of what I was planning to lose. So, you know, that's great. Happy with that. Trade 1 GJ loss. How many pips was that? I think it was about... let's just say minus 3 pips. So yeah, if any of you guys took that trade, you should, well, I'm not going to say you should be out, but you should have managed it as well. And, you know, accept the loss, take the loss. Don't go try and revenge trade now. I see gold is sending it, which is pretty nice to see. No bottom wick on that though, so yeah. If you are in gold buys, I would have based them on the 4-hour time frame, and in that case your stop loss is going to be placed below this 4-hour candle low. So you're going to have about a 35 pip stop loss. So of course it is going to be rather big. Should be up pretty well right now, almost hitting that 10 pip mark. Again, I'm not involved in that. What I do need to do quickly is just respond to a message. It's coming up really nicely. Nice volume. We are heading up. Close 10 pips. Assuming you're talking about gold, Alessandro, and in that case, really well done. If anyone did take the gold trade, stop loss should be a break even at this point, and yeah, should have secured hopefully some profits out of it, because your technical level of entry would have been just above this 4-hour candle high in anticipation to retest this high. looking at it now, obviously would have been the better option. You can see GJ is also pushing quite strong bullish as well. So, you know, it is what it is. Was in this, but wasn't obviously keen to be holding such drawdown. Rather take a small loss and then later on hopefully catch something big. And like I said, guys, that trade purely based on the fact that it's been a really nice month so far. So sometimes you just gotta take a risky trade, or you don't have to, but sometimes it's nice to take a risky trade every now and again, and as long as you carry on managing it. But gold I see is pushing really, really nicely, which is great. Same charts on Telegram. Let me check that out. Sorry, I didn't actually check the Telegram this morning. Here we go, here we go. I think this is the right one. So this is our first one. You got your GJ charts, exact same buying area as me, which is great to see. No trade range, perfect. Risky sells below 156.65, perfect as well. Rejection area, no trade range, perfect too, and sells below 155.98. Absolutely amazing chart here, Belas. I really do like this. Really nicely marked out, nice and clean. Obviously, if you at this stage, I'm sure know your market structure, so you don't have to even write it down. But it is sometimes important just to put it there that we are currently in a 3v1 bullish market structure. Anon, welcome to the chat. Nice to see you, nice to see you. Yeah, really nice chart, perfect. And now you know exactly where you want to see candles forming. That would be, sorry, that would be perfect. Let's now check out your other chart which you have here, which is a gold chart. Potential buys above 1893. I hope that you managed to catch those. Obviously, looking on the 4-hour time frame, it was going to be a lot easier to time. I think I've just realized that my yeah, it says NY session, where it should say London session. Sorry, I didn't change that. It's going to be a lot easier to take the, I'd say, look, if you are going to be looking at this rejection wick, I would say this is definitely not an area to be looking to take impulses. This is where you'd rather be looking for a candle close and then a bearish push down to about this 1884 flat level. If not, you can see obviously now we have moved up and we've broken above this 1893.5 level to retest these sorts of highs. So that's obviously where your trade was. If you did manage to get that, you had your area marked out. So obviously sometimes if you don't see the candle confirmations, even if you have your areas marked out, it can be very hard to take a trade. But I do like that how you've marked this out. Very, very nice. Hello buddy, how much profit do you usually make in a week? Average week. I normally do about, let's say about 7-8% a week. I'm averaging at the moment about 30% a month, over 30%, maybe 40% a month. So yeah, pretty, actually no, sorry, I would say 35% a month. I will not give you, well actually you can go and look at all my stuff on Instagram, all my results are there. So you can do that. So yeah, very nice charts there, Balas. I do like that. Again, if you're going to be looking at this, obviously we've moved up now, but if you were looking at this, you would take into consideration this week, but all you'd be looking for is a candle close below that level. Morning, Pablo. Welcome, welcome. And on, I want to trade news. Want to trade, what do you think? Impulse gold buys are gone. If you were taking impulse gold buys, they were above this 4-hour level and to retest these highs. So your entry would have been at about 1893.62 around there. On what capital, as I won't know your capital? Well, I mean, if I tell you my capital, then you're just going to work out the monetary amount. But it is about, I'll give you, let's say just over £200,000. Just over. So that's also going to be just over $200,000. So you do what you want with that information. I'm not giving my own capital for nothing. Don't give your capital to the markets. Should I do binary to gain some capital? To be honest, what I would suggest is go to, I don't know where, I think you're from South Africa. Go to your nearest casino and go play roulette. That you have as much opportunity making a lot of money doing that as doing binary options. Looks like that GJ, sorry, did I say GJ sells? Looks like the GJ buys worked out, which is great to see. Fortunately, just wasn't. The push came a little bit later. Dude, you killed it. Appreciate that. Thank you, Robbie. Well done, proud and inspiring. Thank you, Jessica. Appreciate all the kind words. But yes, Anon, definitely do not get involved in binary options if you want to. if you wanna make a quick buck, honestly, I'd just suggest try go to the casino. If you're gonna do binary options, it's like the equivalent. Well, money times are tricky. Gotta go work. Go get a job. Go get a 9 to 5. Gain some capital. Learn how to trade properly. Then hopefully times won't be so tricky. Can't stress enough. You're not gonna be able to flip, you know, $1,000 into $1 million, and all of a sudden times are gonna be sweet. It takes, like I said, in this industry, it takes money to make money, and only about 10% of people can actually do that for some reason. It's not very hard. Got no degree. You don't need a degree to get a job. Problem is people are too proud and unwilling to work to approach a company and say, you know, can I work from the bottom? I don't have qualification, and can I work my way up? You know, people used to do that all the time before it became this stigma of you need a qualification to get a job. Of course it's going to help, and of course that's going to allow, if you have a good qualification, is to get in at a high position in a company. But you know, you need to get a job. You need to get a 9 to 5. Trading isn't just going to work out if you don't have the capital to do it, because like I said, it's the hardest way to make easy money. And if you're talking about binary and you want money and you want to triple accounts and all that sort of stuff, it takes time. The easiest way to earn money is to get a job. Exactly. Get a job. Great motivation. Thank you, Antonio. Trading takes a long time to improve. It takes a long time to improve, but like we always talk about, trading is about in between 20 and 40% technical. So technicals is a very easy part of trading. I can show you guys thousands of amazing technical traders. I can also help you guys become the best technical traders you can possibly be. But then the other 60 to 80% is pure discipline and psychology. And that's one thing that you yourself can only come to terms with. If you are the best technical trader in the world and your psychology is terrible, you know, you're not going to be able to be successful in the markets. That's just how it is. Due to over-trading, over-risking, and greed. Honestly, if I say $50,000, is they good? $50,000 is if you're talking about starting an account with $50,000, that's more than enough. But, you know, you need a track record to be able to trade with that money. If you have less, even say a $500 account, and you can't be consistent with that, don't go and chuck in $50,000, because that's going to be $10,000 by the end of the year, probably maybe even less. You had any horror stories in trading? Not horror stories. Never blown an account, but what I used to do was overtrade quite a lot when I first started. So when I used to take trades, I used to use dynamic lots. And this was before I used to trade support and resistance. And what I used to do is obviously open like well, not 50 positions, but I used to open, instead of opening one big lot size position, I would open a lot of small lot size positions. And what that was forcing me to do was being unable to manage all those positions. And it was disastrous, to be honest with you. It was terrible, hated, like now looking back at it, hated every second of it. And then eventually approached the charts with a less is more approach, and things just started changing for the better. But yeah, it was not always such smooth sailing, and there definitely were times when I thought, this isn't for me, and this just, like, I don't understand this, and like, why am I losing? Everyone struggles with trading psychology at some point in their trading career, but it's just how you manage that and how you handle that and how quickly you can wrap your head around, okay, I need to get my psychology correct. Been trading for 4 years. 4 years is a long time to have been trading, so that is that's impressive. Hopefully you're profitable by now. So you say scalpers are no good? No, I definitely didn't say that. There's no problem with scalping. It's just, why if you're gonna scalp, does now that all of a sudden mean you need to take 1,000 trades? You don't. No matter how you trade, you can still stick to the 1 to 2 rule. If you're a swing trader, you can take 1 to 2 trades a day. If you are a day trader, you can also take 1 to 2 trades a day. But you have to manage that. That 156.857, isn't that buying into wicks? Yeah, but if you were here right at the beginning, I explained that it is a highly risky trade, and it's based on London volume. So if you're taking the buys at this level, you can see, which is exactly what I did. Then you will, obviously, how I did it was manage risk at this point. So it is buying into wicks, but what we're expecting is for a volume to just push straight through this level because it is London open. And that's exactly what you can see has just happened. Obviously, there was a very small amount of confirmations for this trade, and it was just purely based off of, had a good month and thought that the overall structure and London Open was just going to push us through, which you can see it eventually did do, but didn't do it in the way that I wanted it to do. So ended up closing it in, as you can see here, -3 pip loss. Got slipped by 6 pips on gold. Sorry to hear that, Nick. That is what happens though with brokers. So at a time like this, when gold's moving like a horse, then it is likely. Luke saying you took a gold buy, really well done. Did you base it on the 4-hour time frame, or did you base it on the low time frames? Either or, it would have been an impulse entry, and you should have been taking at these sorts of levels at least 20 or so pips, so that would have been good. Like in index trading, isn't it better to start, let's 5 contracts, then add 5, and then 5, and then 5? Aim is to open 20 contracts. I'm assuming by contracts you're talking positions, and that is what you're talking about. There's dynamic lots. So instead of opening 120 lot, you're going to open 4 5s, and that's going to add up to your 20. So there's no better way of doing it. As long as you're able to manage those 5 positions, it's much easier to just manage 1 position. Do you trade oil? I don't trade oil, fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know. I haven't looked at it in ages, and I don't trade it. To the impulse based on the 30 minutes and on 4 hour, you see that is perfect. When you start seeing the higher time frames and the lower time frames adding up, and get basically acting as one, acting together, you can see on the 4 hour time frame respected the low of the previous 4 hour candle. So did we on this current 4 hour candle, broke the high of the previous 4 hour candle, and then obviously we had the clean candles to the range. We had clean candles to the left on the 4 hour. We also had clean candles to the left on the 30 minute and the 1 hour. So obviously you can see the volume was terrible pre-London. London Open came, gave us some volume, pushed straight through. It was an impulse entry. Stop loss, if you're basing it technically, was a huge stop loss, 20 pip stop loss. Not huge, but big, I would say. And price pushed about 20 pips. So really well done. So if I take dynamic positions and still manage risk, is that okay in your eyes? Yeah, it doesn't have to be okay in my eyes, but I think that's fine, you know, as long as you're managing risk. So let's say that you open your 5 positions, as long as you're managing each one equally. If you're closing half on one of those positions, then, you know, close half on all of them. You got to manage them equally. You can't just let one run and then manage the other. When you're going to trade Nasdaq again, probably not. Very happy with the 2 pairs that I trade. I did make a lot of money off of Nasdaq, but I make even more money off of these two and enjoy it a lot more. You know, not going to change that. Possible break and retest 15 minutes on gold. Definitely could be. You can see we're coming down to this previous level of resistance. If we do manage to form some support on the lower time frames on this level, so let's say we start forming some 5-minute support. Once we've tapped in, once we break these sorts of levels, we could be good to go back up. The only problem that I'm still battling with myself here is that we have no bottom wick, and obviously this is a bit of an impulse. So yeah, taken one trade already this morning. It was a very small loss, but I want to see, I don't know, I want to see how this closes. It's got a minute left. GJ actually did come up really nicely. It still is pushing. Just a shame that it acted the way it did. And once again, for I think the 17th time in the last probably 20 days, we've gotten the volume coming in on GJ about 15 minutes after the candle opened. So you can see that when the candle opened, we were messing around a little bit, and then after the candle opened, we started pushing. Waiting for this candle close at the moment, guys. Okay, weak bearish candle. What about swing trading and dynamic lots and your views on swing trading? Swing trading is a controversial one in my eyes. So, you know, I don't know a lot of good swing traders. I think I know 2 who are consistent and are like extremely profitable, and when they do get it right, they get it really right. The problem is, out of the 90%, because we all know that stat of only about 10% of traders being successful traders, and the other 90% are those ones who sit at break even or are just blowing accounts all the time. Out of that 90%, a large amount of those are swing traders, because everyone sees swing trading as this thing that you can make these huge returns, and like it's these tiny risk to reward sort of situations, but at the end of the day, swing traders are the ones who are taking the biggest losses, because what they'll do is, cheers Luke, yeah, no problem. What they'll do is, let's just say for example they have a position like this, now they want to take a buy at the low and they're going to swing it all the way up to the top, and their stop loss is something tiny like that, and this is their risk to reward. Now they say price starts going against them, all swing traders start doing is this. They start extending that stop loss. And then what ends up happening is this goes to this, and that stop loss gets taken away, and the thought process behind that is, okay, I'm swing trading this, eventually price will come back in my favor. So to swing traders, the concept of risk management is just not a thing. They're looking at price bouncing off some lines which are looking something like this, and they're saying, okay, we're tapping on here once, we're tapping on here twice, I'm waiting for that third tap, and I think that third tap means we're going to the moon type thing. So you can see I'm definitely not a fan of swing traders, but I know very few who are successful, so that's probably why. And if you are a swing trader, I'm not trying to have shots at you, but that's not how I like to trade. And yeah, a lot of your Instagram master marketers as well, those guys who are sitting with their Ferraris and their bags of cash on top of their Ferraris, also promote swing trading. So that's why it kind of gives this industry a bad name. You'll go see all those guys who are saying that they'll give you their lifestyle. You go look at the way that they trade and what all their courses involve, and it's all shit, which is like this and this, and then they say, okay, now we're doing this and we're doing this, and now, okay, this shape creates, you know, some geometrical confluence, and now, okay, we're tapping here, but we also tapped here, okay, let's sell. You know, it's just ridiculous. And yeah, if you are a swing trader, I'm not sorry. We're coming up quite nicely on GJ, which is great. Thank you, Luke. It's too risky, correct, Antonio. Swing trading is very risky, and the problem about swing trading is they don't teach how to manage risk, because your whole concept of swing trading is it's meant to be a long-term hold. So if you are sitting in drawdown, the whole mentality is, you know, we expected that, and our price is at some stage going to come up. Okay, just hold on 2 seconds. Yeah, it's not great, Robbie. I will tell you that much. You can also tell the swing trader from a mile away, you know. Some people come into my chat and I just know that's a swing trader. Just thinking if, let me just quickly reload this news. I don't know. I like it, but I don't. We've pushed incredibly far already. So from 50k, can I make 10k income a month if I'm a pro? Completely based on your discipline and your trading psychology. 10k, that's what, a fifth of your account? I'd say that's a bit of a push, to be honest. I mean, obviously it is possible, anything is possible, but if you're asking me that question and you've been trading for 4 years, Robbie, I don't know if you're going to be doing 10k from 50k. What about swing dancing? These Instagram influencers say 50k can get you to 200k in a month. Yeah, let's not get started on the Instagram influencers. I'm glad you didn't call them Instagram traders, because then I would have gone on a bit of a rant, because those guys are not traders. Those guys know how to sell courses, that's all. Which is fine, you know. Good job to them that they actually managed to do something, but yeah, morally I don't think they're all there. Also, just how desperate do you have to be to actually believe that, and I'm not saying you, Robbie, I'm just saying because you mentioned it here, how desperate you have to be that you actually believe that from 50,000, whatever your currency is, at the end of the month, you can just magically have this 200,000. I just need that. I need that answered because, you know, it's purely feeding off of desperation. Shout out to you from the UK, TA. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Welcome. How do I become consistent? Shall we say it again, guys? 1 to 2 trades a day, 1 to 2% maximum risk, 1 to 2 pairs that you trade, and 1 session. We can also say this is sometimes 2. We can put a star there. Sometimes 2%. I mean, sorry, sometimes 2 sessions. But Roger Banks made 1 million from 50k because it's Roger Banks. He's been trading for 7 years. He's been doing this, exactly what I'm talking about here, consistently for years and years and years. He has the market experience to be able to do that. It's like me saying, you know, but Rafael Nadal's won 20 whatever Grand Slam majors. Why? Because he has a skill set to do so. He's actually trained properly. He hasn't cut any corners, and he was realistic. He knew he was good enough to do it. You have to be good enough to be able to do something like that. Not everyone's cut out for trading. Like, not everyone's cut out to be a tennis superstar. But I promise you, anyone in chat, if you can... Okay, well, GJ's gone. If you can manage to implement this into your trading plan, 2 months, you'll notice the biggest difference you've ever noticed in trading ever. So let's hope that someone in the chat takes that on board today. That'll be that'll make me happy. That's my mission for the month. Every month, getting 1 person to take that on board when it comes to their trading plan. Would it be nice to be in those GJ buys from down here? Gold's probably coming down, yep. One to 2 rule is extremely, extremely important, guys. If you haven't, you know, tried it, give it a try. Please don't give it a try for a day or 2 and then say, you know, it doesn't work or it's not working. Try it out for 2 months and you'll see the difference. Sorry, Nick, I don't know if you are still here, but on that trade that you did get slipped 6 pips, did you end up closing your position or what ended up happening? I'm thinking, to be honest, what I'm thinking did this, obviously we had London Open, and I'm thinking this got priced in a little bit later than we had previously expected. Obviously the news came out at 9 o'clock and now we're getting that strong bullish push. It was of course good numbers, really good for the value of the pound, and you can see we had that nice strong push. London Open was nice strong bullish, following candle was as well. Secure profits and then close that break even when it came down. Okay, well at least you know, it wasn't like slip 6 pips, take the loss, and then that was that. At least you actually managed to still secure some profits out of that. So well done. You are on a bit of a streak at the moment, which is good. Okay, so what I'm going to be looking for on gold, guys, is obviously if we do form some resistance at this sort of level, you can see maybe based on 15-minute time frame. So yeah, we have formed some 15-minute resistance. What we can start looking for is now prices coming back down what we can look for is let's create some high lows and get up above this 1895.33 level. Then at that point, we obviously have the clean candles to the left. I will be looking for some possible trades to retest this high over here, which could come after we tap into a level of support or form some support on a previous level of resistance. That could happen at this point over here, and then we could start moving up. So that's what I'm looking for. We do need to get up above this resistance, but it's nice to see that if you drop down the low time frames, we are starting to move up a little bit. Last question. So can I just trade one pair, one session, 1 to 2% risk, but dynamic lots, which average to the same? You're very into your dynamic lots, Robbie. But yeah, that's, if you, let's say your 1 to 2% risk allows for you to trade with one lot size, for example, and you want to use your dynamic lots, just make sure that your dynamic lots add up to that one lot size. Don't use dynamic lots which are going to add up, so it's fine. Hey, I made hundreds of millions on demo. After that, I've started on real. Yeah, that's where you'll start noticing a massive difference once you go from demo to real, because then you actually start realizing you can't just jump into every trade that you have a suspicion is going to work out, because you actually start thinking, okay, this money is actually going to end up going into the market rather than just refunding that demo account. That's why I do say, guys, once you have grasped the concept of trading and do understand the technicals of it, and then you still obviously will need to work on your psychology. Everyone can always work on their psychology, it doesn't matter. If you are trading a demo, please do try and open, even if it's a tiny real account. What it does is it gives you the concept of working with real money and understanding the emotions that come with entering that actual position, clicking that buy, clicking that sell, placing that stop when it is with real money, even if it's $200, $300, $500, $1,000. Obviously it's going to vary, but I would say if you are starting out and are trading on a demo, please do try your best to get some, even if it is small capital, and trade on that real account. The demo is just, it's too unrealistic. Can you review EU? You know what, we have the time to review EU. Missed the move. Let's check out the Euro USD. And we can do a quick, very quick top-down analysis. It's not looking great, to be honest, on the lower time frames. Okay, current market structure bullish on the weekly. You can see last week we formed weekly resistance. It looks like we are trying to form some weekly support. Daily time frame, our market structure is, this was our low point which created it. We are currently still bearish in market structure, so weekly is bullish, daily is bearish. You can also see that yesterday we formed some daily resistance at this level, and we are currently trying to form some daily support, but we also have this long rejection wick, which if we drop down the time frames, we're going to find some support levels, probably going to be some 4-hour, 1 hour and 30-minute supports in here. So if we drop down to the 4-hour, you can see here we go, we have our 4-hour support levels. Very choppy price action where we are now. We are kind of consolidating. We also have the resistance level right up here, so it's going to be very hard to actually find areas to look for trades. Our market structure, on the 4-hour is, this was our high created by this point, bullish. So weekly bullish, daily bearish, 4-hour bullish. And then we look on the 30-minute time frame. This is where we're going to obviously fine tune our zones and actually look for some areas to take some trades in. What I would say is this is your plain example of an area you don't want to get involved in. This is just pure consolidation. I would say that this whole range is a no trading range. Where I would actually be looking for some possible entries is maybe above, let's just see what our range is here. 9 pips, not big enough. Let's see above here. How many pips is it from here? Okay, so this is 13 pips. It's not great. This doesn't look to have a huge amount of range, but I'd say potential buys above 1.13933, because obviously you have clean candles to the left. It would also be a clean break out of this range, which we currently have. If we're going to be looking for sells, well, yeah, down here. the way I'm looking at it, I mean, there's no clean candles to the left. You're just ranging. So unless you're going to try find a riskier entry, this is going to be where you're going to be looking for sales, because you have, again, terrible range, 11 pips down till about here. So what I would actually suggest is take this pair and get rid of it. This looks like one of the worst charts I've seen in ages. And our market structure, sorry, on the 30-minute is so high up here. Formed by this point, exceeded in bearish market structure. So 2v2. Buys and sells can both work out, but consolidation. So no trade range. I'd say buys above that level, sells below that level, or actually what I would say is don't trade this pair. Hope that helps. What else have we got here? My neighbor said he has been trading for 8 years and he does CFD trading and averages 10 to 18k a month with only 30k, but he said he has over 500k but prefers to keep it in the bank. Do you reckon he was being honest about what he said? It took him a lot of money and charting and psychology. So he is making 10 to 18k a month with only 30k. I think that your neighbor is telling you some lies. I think that he is telling you a few long stories. I mean, I don't want to accuse him of being a liar, but if he is being serious and honest with you, you know, congratulations to your neighbor. And the fact that he's saying is over 500k but prefers to keep it in the bank is, you know, just ridiculous. You can't be keeping that sort of money at a bank. It doesn't appreciate at a high enough rate. So if you actually did have that much money and was financially, did have financial knowledge, he would know that, you know, keeping money in a bank just loses value over time. So he definitely wouldn't have 500,000 sitting in the bank. He would have that in assets. So I think either someone's lying here. I think you need to build a bigger fence between you. Sharif, you couldn't say it any better. Tell him to use that 500k and build a massive wall. And that way you won't have to see liars like that daily. Happy if I make 5% a day? 5% a day. If you can make 5% a day every day, I would be ecstatic if I was making 5% every day. You should be happy with 1 to 2% a day. That's, you know, depending on your account size, that's good going. If you're doing even 2% a day, that's with the amount of trading days that they are, that's 40% a month. And if you're making 5% a day, well then, you know, you're flipping your account every month. So, I don't know, Pablo, you should maybe lower what makes you happy. 5%, that's quite a lot. Ask to sit with him on a trading session and you'll find out exactly that's a good idea. He's 34, he's a liar then. Like I said, I don't want to call him a liar, but that sounds like a very long story in my eyes. I don't know, chat, what you guys think. Sounds like a bullshitter to me. Could be completing this retest for us to further move up. 8 minutes. Let's wait. He said he trades S&P 500 and aims for 25 points and makes around $50 a point. I don't know. I'm not gonna. Like I said, I don't know the guy, so Just those numbers don't add up to me. But like I said, if he does, he does. And in the words of the wise man Sharif, you should build a bigger fence between your neighbor. Indices move a lot. If indices, I know indices do move a lot, but if people are making that type of money off of that amount of money, I think more people would be achieving that. He said he only trades opens. I mean, that's pretty normal to only trade opens. And if he loses, he takes the loss. Well, that's good. Still looking for this retest, guys, and then I'm going to be looking for some further buys above maybe 1895.09 if we get this candle close. I do want to wait for the 50-minute candle close, so 1,200 per day, 20 trading days, risk around 900 per trade. Yeah, I mean, good on him. Still don't believe it, but if he's showing you this and it makes him sleep at night, then happy days for him. Just put in here what we are actually looking for. Say yourself you make 40% per month, can't he do that? 8 years of trading? He can definitely do that. But let me just see what you said here. You said you asked me if I thought he was being honest. I told you he's not. I don't think he's being honest. To me, the numbers that you were talking about, they're just, I don't know. If that means he's doing over 50% a month. If he is making 18k, and you say he's only trading CFDs, only trades opens. Obviously if he has the market experience, well done to him. So, sit in between 10 and 18k. I'm not going to argue about it. I just don't think it's true. You asked me my opinion. If you think it's true, that's great. I think we should focus probably more on ourselves than other people. It doesn't matter how much money he's making or losing. Okay, the only thing I am worried about obviously is we do have some possible exhaustion coming in based on the 1 hour. We haven't retested this 1 hour level of resistance. Let me see. No, we did. Sorry. But we haven't on the 1 hour yet. So let's just wait until it. Fair enough. You're a legend. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, waiting for this candle close based on the 50-minute time frame, I think is where I may be quite interested in taking this. I do obviously want to see this point up here retested. $200k, 40%, per month. It's not 40% every month. It obviously varies. I think my most was 40%. 80k profit. Won't do 80k profit this month, no. But 40 to 50k is most definitely doable. You make 80k just trading support and resistance. That's impressive. I think it's time for Jessica to go on a bit of a timeout here. If you think that this is just trading support and resistance, you definitely don't either listen or use your eyes. Where is this? Put this user in timeout. There we go. My word. I think I did. Okay. About to get a candle close. Let's see. It's actually the first like consistent like hater, I would say, Alessandro. Like some people obviously come in here and leave like one bad comment, but geez, like this was just going on and on and on. How do I time out for more than 300 seconds? I suppose when she comes back I'll just have to do it again. I hope we don't push too much now. Let's see. Show me your 200k fraud. You know what? I actually knew that this Jessica and Robbie were the same account, to be honest. I had a feeling. Let's put this person in timeout as well. The way they type and stuff is exactly the same. Idiots. No, man. Can you permanently time someone out? So I know there are obviously quite a few guys who are here all the time, but does anyone actually want to be a moderator in this chat? Just for shit like that. I mean, it doesn't happen a lot, but just so I don't have to sort that out. Must be doing something right to attract haters. Well done. Thank you. Certainly don't mind it at all. It's more so for the convenience of the chat. I don't want you guys to have to listen to that shit all the time. If doesn't like something, why not leave? I don't know. People like that are just got nothing better to do. I mean, he's probably, to be honest, that's probably the type of person who's going around live streams and just chatting shit. Definitely not. Well, I certainly wouldn't say a trader. Like that type of person. I mean, you just saw the questions they were asking. That's not someone who's good at trading or knows how to trade. Probably a very, very bad trader who's just trying to have a bit of a laugh. Straight rejection. Okay, well, the 30-minute candle obviously closed nearly back in the range. We might have a fake out, come back down to this level and then start moving up. Do you think buy stop above highs is valid on gold? Something I was contemplating, yeah, just envious of the fact that you are profitable and they're not. I certainly think that that plays a part in it, Alessandro, for sure. But yeah, like I said, don't really care about stuff like that, so it's all good. We don't have to worry about that. If they do come back, we just time them out again. Probably have about 15 accounts doing that sort of stuff, so wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, buy stops maybe above this candle. Only thing that does put me off that a little bit is obviously we do have a possibility of possible exhaustion, especially based on the 1 hour. You can see we've pushed quite far. This candle itself was 40 pips, so we might come down a little bit, maybe react with this zone on the 1 hour time frame and then continue to move bullish. That could always be a possibility. But I think for the day, guys, that is me done. There's no news later, so I don't think I'll be streaming this afternoon. I'm gonna see what time I'm gonna go out now. I'll see what time I'm back, see what the market conditions. If we do have some nice possibilities of some really nice moves and some nice clean ranges pre New York, then yeah, I think I'll happily stream New York. Why not? And if not, I will see you guys all on Monday. And if I don't see you guys, have an amazing weekend. And I hope that you guys had a good week as well when it came to trading. Obviously, try if you can go over some of your trades which you took this week, losses in particular. You'll always learn way more from losses than you ever will from, you'll always learn way more from losses than you ever will from wins. That is for more than sure. So yeah, I appreciate all the support, guys. Have an amazing weekend. I'll chat to you guys on the Telegram as well. And please, if you haven't as well, leave a like on the stream, subscribe if you aren't. Would appreciate it. And yeah, have a great rest of your day, everyone. I'll chat to you guys later.